up here. It really does get to me each time. It's like, oh, we're doing something. Yeah.
Rinsing the roof, and then we're back to like bicycle lane 1.
Yeah, we're back to the dentist's office.
So the dentist, right? Music
designed to anesthetize.
Yes.
Oh, but here comes the beta drop. It's gonna drop here. I could be great. Let's do this. It's pretty easy.
Enough into it.
I've done my our voices get drowned out by our sound here. All right, we'll fade it out. It was. Hello everyone. Let's see. Happy Saturday.
We're live, and Sega's here, hanging out with us.
Sega, thank you, and Sega, thanks so much for the super nice comments you've been leaving on our videos. Just very nice of you. Super appreciate it. We read them. We do mean to reply at some point, but
That's on the to-do list.
yeah, let's move our maybe down here.
Well, it's gonna cover up the weeds.
That's okay. I mean, they know what they're watching.
You, scoot it up from the top.
Well, then it's back
I just
here.
meant make it shorter, so there'll just be fewer messages showing.
So shrink it.
Hit Alt. There you go. Shrink it. Cool. We're fiddling with it live.
Yeah, we should be doing the studio mode where you can mess around without it actually going live. Anyways, just to double down on that, Sega, thank you for the super nice comments. It's been we love doing it. We love hanging out with you. I think we missed you last night, but we're glad we can be here for at least for a little bit with you. What are we doing today?
What are we doing today? We said, well, we're probably not doing Splatoon. I think we're hanging out. You're continuing to hype for we still didn't figure out the name. Stony Week, whatever. 420 week.
Right.
The countdown to 420 that is going to be like 6 days or whatever.
Go lie down, buddy. Go lie down.
We have a dog right down here.
Thank God you can't see him.
Yeah.
That's all great, and all of that is actually more relevant and also just better log rolling and information than what I was looking for, but in a more, we'll say, vain or self-congratulatory way. What cool thing are we doing today that is preventing us from streaming for a long time?
Why are we not streaming? Because we could have, like last night was a late stream, but we cannot do a late stream. We are going to go to Burbank for a showing and then live Q&A.
Burbank being one of the innumerable Los Angeles neighborhoods.
City. It's truly a city, but
yes, but within Los Angeles County. And if you were telling somebody who lived, either in a different country or on the East Coast, you'd just say, I live in Los Angeles. But Burbank's like right in the center of all the. It's like next to Hollywood and
like Warner Brothers Studios are right there. It's part of the whole.
It's where the little
studio
water tower is.
Yeah,
if you know
you can actually see the water tower.
The Warner Brothers where the Animaniacs live. You can see the Animaniacs. Huh?
Yes.
So we're gonna go see. What is it?
Sasquatch Sunset.
And what is Sasquatch Sunset?
From what I understand, there's not going to be any dialogue in this movie because it is from the directors, the Zellner brothers. I think that's their name. David and something Zellner. Some of the numerous brother directors. And Jesse Eisenberg.
Bunch of
This
famous
other
people.
guy, Riley who else is it? Somebody else are like, they're dressed up as Sasquatches. They look totally unrecognizable in this movie, but apparently it's going to be, or we hope it should be, extremely moving, is what I've read. And despite no dialogue, despite them just being
Well, I also
Sasquatches.
I hope and have heard that it's also supposed to be very funny.
Funny, yes, funny
Yeah.
too.
But a bunch of hot people dressed up as Big Feet.
Yes.
And a lot of shit and piss jokes. I'm a big shit piss joke guy.
Yeah.
And it's come, so they're doing a bunch of like screenings for it, and one time SNL host,
Or not host, cast
member, right?
Player, as they also say.
Adie Bryant is doing
Modding the Q&A with the director.
neat. She's cool. I really hope we see her husband.
We're big. We're big.
I think we have
Fever of 103 Degree fans.
check out Connor O'Malley. Will you get us caught up in chat? I think we have a lot going through. Yeah. Happy Saturday, everybody.
So I'm moving backwards in chat.
I'll go do our first dab for everybody who's been out here. All the names that I've missed.
Do the catch-all. Okay.
Yes, I missed. I mean,
that's good.
Sega was first, so Sega gets the first inhalation, the first THC molecules to enter the bloodstream go to Sega. But we're
Okay.
we're delineating.
You're gonna share them. You're gonna share them with Alejandro and Randy Dragon and Keach Alp and Reinhardt Nilsson and John Phantom and Sam 2002 are all with us in the comments. So
Well, now you got me nervous.
that's a lot of inhalations.
Yeah. I really like our new setup. We moved the camera closer. We got a much smaller desk to have everything on.
We scooted up.
I think people really like seeing the weed stuff, so we decided, hey, let's get my ugly mug a little bit, Let's not focus.
You got the text covering up your weed stuff over there.
And people now get to super appreciate this postcard that you bought for me years ago.
Yes.
It's always been in the background of things, but here it is. It's great. I love that little postcard quite a lot. Here's our first dab of cherry apple turnover.
Cobbler, like Adam Sandler. We already covered this.
The shoe repairman. First dab of the day. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Happy Saturday. And sorry it's going to be a bit of a short stream today.
We'll be back soon, probably tomorrow. So Alejandro Santana says, first live that he's caught, waving to us from Sacramento. So maybe in Sacramento, you know what Burbank is. I don't know. Depends on your knowledge of LA.
He's from the state's capital. He's going to be...
He's clued in.
Yes.
Burbank's a big enough deal. Okay. So this comment is coming in every single live. Wheats.
Yeah,
The people demand it.
our producer has been getting on to me too. She's generally a pretty nice person, but she can be, and sorry to air this dirty laundry, she can be an asshole when she wants to be, and she has been really out there like, hey man, you need to get back on this, the people. So it might have to happen.
Any comments on like why it hasn't happened?
That is an excellent question. No, that's a great question. Let me finish this off and I will answer it.
Okay. We're so glad that you caught us too. Happy Saturday. I don't know. I have a terrible memory. Wheats here has a AAA rated memory. He's some of the best. It degrades over the course of the stream, but at the beginning, pretty high quality memory. I don't remember if Randy Dragon has stopped in and said hi before.
Randy Dragon, I'm so glad you are here. I don't immediately remember the name Randy Dragon. I love it so much. It's such a slut dragon type name.
Yes, we love slut dragons.
Yeah, we're big into the slut dragons. We've got Rick and Morty's convinced us that all dragons are in fact sexual deviants, and I think we can stop saying slut dragons because it's a bit of a loaded term. We can just call them Randy dragons. Austin Powers, thank you so much for bringing Randy back into the public discourse. And I'm sure
dragons for life.
I'm sure all the Randys out there aren't so happy with it. I have to when our camera was like further back, I could fudge that I always forget to look at it.
Yeah.
But now that it's so close,
oh yeah,
it's like
there's less.
Yeah,
fudging.
people. Yeah, the closer it is,
I just never look at it, so I'm keeping up that.
We could try the creepy NVIDIA technology that makes our eyes look at it.
Oh no, let's
weird.
hold off on that for now.
It's weird.
Maybe later.
Eye contact. Well, thanks for being here, Randy Dragon.
Randy Dragon knows Burbank, loves Burbank, but right now in Seattle with big plans for some edibles.
In Washington.
Nice.
Burbank's so bizarre. There's this really weird element to Burbank. So, being next door to Hollywood, Beverly Hills, all those places.
We should couch this in like it's not like we're Burbank experts at all. We just started going like 2 months ago.
Well, we'd been before, but we've had more reasons to go to Burbank recently. Odd thing about Burbank, in a area that is already a liberal bastion, it is in a specifically even more progressive area,
right.
And it's
all them Hollywood elites.
Sort of main thoroughfare through Burbank is replete, loaded, one might say.
That's a loaded word.
With gun stores. There are so many fucking giant ass gun stores in Burbank. There are not many in Los Angeles at all. Each little area has their own rule, but if you go to Burbank, like next to the little hipster VHS store that sells just 90s movies is a like 2,000 square foot
Guns mega store.
Yeah. And then next to that is like a 70s clothes shop.
Yeah, this is like
what is happening here?
A little, thoroughfare with all these vintage shops, but also giant gun stores.
It is both this a symptom of it is for whatever reason one of the municipalities that allows firearm sales, and also the economic thing of what are called jewelry districts, where some specialty store, usually a jeweler, opens in an area, and instead of all the other jewelers moving away from their competition and saying, let's get away from them, you actually crowd into that area because you say, well, they're already this business is already attracting people who want jewelry, so why don't we take advantage of that and put a business there ourselves? So you get some of that with guns too, where it's like, well, somebody else is already selling firearms here. People are going to come into this area to look for guns. Let's sell guns too.
Let's leave Burbank and their guns alone.
Yeah, there's too much gun talk.
You were oh, you loaded up. When you were doing your dab, you were supposed to answer the question of why no reviews.
Oh, thank you so much. That's consequence of the dab is that you forget the question. It's an example of once bitten or thrice bitten.
Thrice bitten, yeah.
Thrice bitten,
quadruple shy.
Time shy, or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't fool me twice. Now watch me shoot this drive. An example of that too. Thank you, George Bush. where YouTube doesn't really seem to have a problem with live streams that I do weed on live streams. As long as I don't I'm not super explicit with the title, it doesn't really bother them. They don't seem to ever take any umbrage with this fact. But they have on several occasions penalized my channel for just doing weed reviews. And the reason I'm back live streaming right now is I had my YouTube partnership revoked last year, just randomly, again, for... I don't want to get too much into it because it's so annoying and so frustrating, and everybody just has a dumb story about YouTube.
Here we go. Just 10 more seconds.
They frequently accuse me of selling drugs on YouTube, of selling weed, which if any of you guys watch here, not only do I not sell weed, I don't advertise weed for people. I don't take anybody's money. I don't accept anything, but they're often like, well, they'll send you some vague automated thing that's like, we think something facilitating weed sales. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's literally the opposite of what I'm doing. So I got my channel YouTube partnership revoked. However, this is the second exact time that this thing has happened where even though it's technically just revoked forever, I just randomly get it back. I get an email saying through a reevaluation of our something, your whatever partnership has been reinstated. Now,
how long was it this time?
It was over a year.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was from January to February of 2023 to February 2024. So that's why I was just not doing a lot of stuff. It's they also threaten you. That's if you continue making this stuff that you made, that we're not going to tell you what it was that we took some kind of, exception to, your channel will be just banned. You will
not just banned, but the scary threat is completely deleted.
Yeah, if it does get completely banned, it does and so I have a strike on my channel now for something, and so I also just have my partnership stuff back, even though I don't use this to make money. It's still, you get ranked higher on search and all that stuff. It just felt like, why would I do this if at any moment they're going to nuke it? But stupidly, they let me back in just as randomly as they kicked me out, and I was like, okay, I'm a foolish idiot. And I really am. I really shouldn't be doing this. It is just really rewarding awful behavior on YouTube's part, but that's the world we live in. We are all beholden to these platforms and their whims, and just hopefully trying to stay on their good side. Enough.
All right,
done. Another dab. Done. Yes, love it.
I will.
Good.
So that might fall into things that are hard, you don't necessarily answer or are harder to answer. Because Keach Alp asked, "What's a legal disposable that ships to all states that smacks?"
This is a perfect
example.
Perfect example to say, opportunity to say, I unfortunately, I don't know. I am not in any way, don't sell any weed myself. I don't actually know the mechanisms for which it happens in huge quantities where people in illegal states are importing from legal states, but I don't actually know what those mechanisms are. I knew that at one time Instagram was and Snapchat were huge in the facilitation of intrastate drug sales.
Yeah.
But I live in a legal state. I don't have to worry about it. I don't actually use those platforms anyways, but just from what I heard on the grapevine, what I wish I could tell you, who left that comment, and
that's Keach Alp.
Keach, thank you for the comment. I wish I could help more. I really, truly do. Hopefully, knock on wood. Hey, fingers crossed.
Maybe you can go visit a legal state, or maybe, do the classic, the kids say, call your congressperson, write to your congressperson, email them, tell them.
Let's cross our fingers for this. Great.
I mean, that's not helpful.
Depends what state you live in. I mean,
Yeah.
almost certainly not going to be helpful regardless. We don't really have responsive political leaders.
No, yeah.
But what you might want to hope for more, fingers crossed, let's say we get to September of this year, Joe Biden is really looking down still in the polls, especially with the youths, which is distressingly true right now. Let's say things haven't improved over the summer. It's September. He is underwater with the 20s and 30 somethings in this country. And what might be a gambit to
energize,
get the youths on his side?
Interest.
Hey, if reelected, one of the first things that I will do is have the FDA remove marijuana as a class of 1 drug and begin the process of federal, not just rescheduling, but maybe begin the process of federal legalization. I can very much envision a scenario like that.
I have also hoped that it might become a electoral year gambit.
Let's hope our fate of the entire world rests on weed. We're rooting for you, weed. Get those kids to vote.
They might be too stoned to make it to the polls.
Not too stoned if they don't go to the polls to vote yet.
Oh, right.
Because he's voting to make it legal so that they can get too stoned to vote in 2026.
Oh, okay. Yes,
right.
Yes.
That's where it comes back to bite you in the ass. That's what we call a second order effect. Right, let's do this dab.
We got THC Temple in the house.
Good to see you again, man. Thanks for being here.
Is there a Wheats 420 extravaganza planned?
Yes, next Sunday. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff.
Wait. You're bad at math.
This Sunday?
Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Today's the 13th.
Oh, next Saturday. That's right. Next year. I'm sorry. I was thinking next year.
Yeah, I got him hyped for 2025.
Yes. My bad. I got ahead of myself. Next year, 420 will not only be on a Sunday, but it will be a special Sunday. The most special of Sundays.
I mean,
provided you're a Western Christian person who believes in the resurrection of Jesus, which I'm not. It's on Easter next year. He is risen, and he is high as fuck. But this year it's on Saturday. And yes, we will be definitely doing some 420 festivities. I'm going to do this, Dab. Will you give us a person to dedicate this one to?
I think for that question, that's going to be for THC Temple. Who hasn't joined us yet when a long-time friend. When we said it was for everyone.
And one of our old friends. Thank you, sir. Happy you're here. And happy Saturday.
So behind on chat here, but try to catch up. Oh, Mill and Hugh. Thanks for joining. Mill and Hugh heard about some word of mouth from Sega. So thank you also, Sega.
Thank you, Sega. I super appreciate that, man.
Sega does say you look like Weed Jesus. So, that comment has appeared before in the past. Some say Weed just or Weedsus. So, yeah. Play into that next 420, but that's 420, 2025.
Yes.
This year, it's next
on a
Saturday. It's gonna be on Saturday.
Discord.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been super active yet, but since I've been back, but I did get it reset up, get the invitation link. If you guys want to join a Discord with us, pretty soon, even next week, I'll say that'll be ready. Next week, we'll have a way to call in on Discord if anybody wants to call in, ask a question, just get high with everybody. We did this last year. It was a lot of fun. But if you just want a cool place to hang out, we've got a Discord server set up. Let me paste that bad boy into chat if anybody is interested.
And good idea to do this while you're
letting this dab. Oh shit! Oh, it's getting tough here.
No, I was just gonna say while you're still like able enough, capable.
Yes, yeah, barely. It's we're on the edge there. 2 dabs in less than an hour. So yeah, we're gonna go see some hopefully a pretty sick ass movie today.
And even, regardless of how the movie turns out, get to see the director. It's always fun getting to see the live events. We've gone to a few.
I might have to go grab something.
Oh man, I guess that was the last live event we went to.
Well, we did. I think so.
Back in October.
I got you. So, anybody who's been with us a while, my favorite movie of all time, the greatest movie ever made, just unquestionably, is the 1999 movie Election with Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon, directed by the godly Alexander Payne. This year, he had... This past year, 2023, he had a big old movie, bunch of award nominations, The Holdovers.
A win for Best Supporting Actress.
Very cool. Paul Giamatti. Ooh, I shouldn't leave that on there.
You should finish that.
I should be cleaning that out, too. That's a later problem. So it's just ridiculous if you live in Los Angeles County. Like, you get the opportunity to do interesting, neat shit all the time. As long as you're like on the lookout. And we happen to also be AMC subscription memberships, and they're just always advertising this cool shit like, hey, for the cost of your subscription, come check out a movie with a dope ass person talking about it. Well, we saw The Holdovers early, and Alexander Payne, the director, Holdovers, which was incredible, was there. He came and did like a question and answer after the movie. We got to see it. It was awesome.
Such a like gentleman. This is to the next part. Maybe you need to go grab something.
Yeah, and our producer surprised me while we were there. I'll be right back.
Oh, Sega made a great point. Update your bio with all the social links. That is such a good point.
And then I was like, oh wait.
But you did have an Instagram, but it's not active. It's totally fallow.
Yeah. I got a copy of my favorite movie, the Criterion Collection, signed by Mr. Alexander Payne for my birthday. Getting to see him, it was incredible. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
He was so like these famous people. They don't have to like talk to you, right? But like he's there. He's got his handler. He finished the Q&A. There was a really nice moderator, and then there's all these people who are like, especially a lot of like, I'm an artist, I'm a creator, I'm a writer, I'm a director. Like, people kind of do that kind of stuff, bug them like about their projects. He's so nice. Like, people are sort of rushing him in the theater. He's like, okay, let's go outside. And then there's a line of people, and he talked to everyone. Even not to, gave him the 2 minutes and listened to them or shook their hand, took a picture with them if they wanted. So we didn't do the picture, but no
selfie.
We just got to say like, I love your movie, and I pulled out of my purse. That was just a coincidence. Like, preparing for Wheats's birthday, which was like just a couple weeks away, I had just like a week before ordered the Criterion Collection in October has like a 50% off sale. I just ordered this. I saw it and I was like, oh, duh. And then And then, like, the event happens. I'm like, I just got this in the mail. So I snuck it in my purse and, like, took it out at the end. I'm like, we're going to get this signed.
It was amazing, dog. It was incredible. I mean, it sits on, it's like, it's on our wall, you know, it just hangs there so I can just gawk at it every day. I've gotten so many people to watch and love. I mean, it really is the greatest movie of all time. If you haven't seen Election, here's another opportunity to tell you, go watch it. It's the best. You're not going to see anything funnier or more. Whatever. Let's keep up with the weed. Stop talking about the. Stop navel gazing and instead. Get pretty high. Let's go ahead and do the mighty here. I've got our mighty.
Okay.
I think I'm actually going to hold off on the volcano for this one.
It's just here for decoration.
Yes. So we're going to switch over to the mighty. This is the Stores and Bickle vaporizer. We got our little handy pod in here. Going to heat up. Here was a fun thing we did. We 3D printed this little base on stream the other day. I was like, you know what, guys? People love seeing this stuff. This thing always just lays down. It blends in with the dark table. Nobody notices it. Be great if I could. Excuse me, my stinker fell over.
The stinker thinker.
Find some way to prop it up. And, I came up with a bunch of dumb, stupid things. I was like, wait a second. A 3D printer is one of those things you've got to recalibrate your brain around. You've got to remind yourself constantly that you have this thing. And not only that you have it, but that other people have it and that they are more clever and more industrious than you and are also more kind and willing to share. So I was like, I wonder. So I went to one of the big repositories of 3D models and was like, searched it. There it is. Somebody on the internet already designed a little stand for this. They're actually, it blew my mind. This weed vaporizer. So, it's a big deal. It's from one of the bigger companies, but still, pretty niche product. And crossed with people who own 3D printers and design things, and not a big group. On the 3D model site I went to, there were like 4 different people who had made and designed a stand for this. It's like, what? It's mind-boggling that so many people would take the time to do that, and then of course share it with people. It's so cool. That's also where this came from, but it's existed for a long time now. Don't buy the 3D printer we bought, though.
Don't buy the 3D printer we bought.
We have the Anker Make M5.
M5, yeah.
The nice one. They also have a cheaper one called the C, and apparently it's actually better.
But because it was
made after.
It
was my second Kickstarter.
Yeah. We bought it on Kickstarter, which, we never buy things on Kickstarter. What was your first Kickstarter?
I kickstart one board game.
Ah. Okay, back when we were buying board games.
Back in 2013, 2012.
Yeah, that's pretty low stakes. To kickstart a piece of technology, it's just such a good lesson in, the whole point is, they don't know what they're doing yet.
And when it works, great.
It works great.
And it's really remarkable. But I have never had to learn to fix, repair.
That's kind of, that's sort of the 3D printer thing.
Yes, but the other ones...
It was supposed to be, the easier version.
The Apple sort of sand off the rough edges.
Yeah.
And so then they did the Apple thing of making it very hard to tamper with, but they made it even less robust than the competition. So they shielded all the stuff that you need to get to all the time to fix it behind a lot of shit. So you're just like, it's a disaster. But you can print guys shitting on a toilet.
Looking like the thinker.
Can you believe that the name of this model was not the Stinker? How can it not be?
It should be the Stinker.
Yeah.
Where should I put that?
Did I not turn this on? No, I did. I just forgot to do it.
I heard it. It makes a little vibrate when it's ready.
It is now ready. Sorry about chat, everybody. I have really been doing a terrible job because I've been
It's
doing
my
a great
job.
job of getting high, but I've also not been like, oh, what am I gonna miss?
It's my job, and my job is not to like move the text around, and I kept on doing that.
I did have fun watching it.
Yeah, I hope everyone did. Uh, we're just behind. We'll just plow ahead. I'm sorry, Sam. Sam dropped their bowl.
Did it break? I hope not.
It has a frowny face.
It could just be because of the mess.
Oh yeah, hopefully not broken.
Weed tech is so fragile and so finicky and so
So it's always like glass and hot stuff.
yeah. I mean, and it makes sense, right? You put these things under high temperatures with a lot of sticky vapors running through these things. It
Yeah.
makes sense that it wouldn't be robust or
High demand.
but it still feels like, I mean, my mini nail I have here in front of me. This little banger that you have to buy custom, because it works with the system, and it's so exorbitantly expensive. I've had to buy like 2 of them because it has this little glass arm that it's like feels designed to break, and it's just like you pay a lot for these things, and I don't know if it is just a happy accident that these things break so easily or quickly. I had a Puffco Peak, and the little atomizers, little $25 atomizers, like lasted 2 weeks each. And it just felt like, what is happening? That is not true for the Stores and Bickle stuff, though. The Volcano,
Thank you, Germans.
yes. What is the GmbH mean?
That's like their version of LLC.
I've asked you that before, yes. If you ever see a German product, they all say GmbH in
It's
different
like the
capitalization.
yeah.
It means LLC.
Because yeah, in German you capitalize all the nouns.
Right.
You forgot that too.
Sie sprechen Sie a little.
Ein bisschen Deutsch. Un poco.
Well, now you're crossing strings.
Oh yeah, I mean there were some comments about. So Sam agreed. In states that weed is illegal, most people use Telegram and Snapchat to buy it.
Right.
John has legal on medical here in Florida. Which that seems, I mean, with all the crazy shit that's going down in Florida. But I guess there's a lot of old people too.
So Florida has medical.
A lot of states have medical.
Yes, that don't. Arizona, for example.
And then,
well, here's an interesting thing.
Tennessee does not have, but there's like stores anyways, because they legalized CBD, but then like.
Well, THC 8.
Right.
Or Delta, different compounds. All this stuff is gray market. And at some point, the Attorney General will or won't crack down arbitrarily. It won't matter. It's all awful there. There should be no reason people... if you need... Law doesn't matter. Law's a joke. There is no such thing as law. There's only politics. It is truly asinine, and it is incomprehensible, and not just incomprehensible, it's cruel beyond measure that you can, live in one state and go to prison for fucking years, theoretically, Idaho or something, and then right across the border, the same exact Americans, it's not a different country, the same citizens of the same country are not only not going to be penalized, but they're tax incentivized to grow this shit. It is insane. It is inexcusable. We just live with this, dumb fact that only exists so that some fucking attorney general in some state can talk about how tough they are on crime, even if the majority of the people who vote for the guy probably still smoke weed at home and think, well, he doesn't mean me, they mean the other guys. It is insanity. It's insanity. It's just insanity. there's no excuse for it, and we tolerate it because we have to, but it doesn't make it make any sense or something that we should have to tolerate. Anyways, I'm sorry. One of the many.
Yeah, I mean, we all feel you, man. It's actually. I mean, yeah, it's so heartbreaking that there's still people in prison over this shit. It's just
There aren't many. We do inflate that number. I mean, even in the states where it is still very illegal, it's not the only people who get prosecuted still, since, like, really, because it's not really a popular, even in the very conservative states, the idea that you would try to put somebody in prison for even a overnight for the sin of consuming weed is not a popular idea anymore.
yeah.
But it still can be used in conjunction of other ways of bolstering an image of saying, like, whatever
Like tack it onto other charges.
right. And not even just as like but not just as a political or legal, it doesn't matter. I'm done.
You're done. You're done. We got a lot going on in chat. We got KDB joined. Thank you so much for joining. She's,
Happy Saturday.
as you remember, in Pittsburgh, and Pennsylvania is medical. And chat's going off. Pretty good recommendations for uninspired, any home remedies for a cold.
Ooh.
Tea and honey. I'm with Katie because she said thyme, which I think that's a lot of. I've been thinking about that.
It does heal all wounds.
Yeah, it really does heal all wounds. Like,
I assume she meant it with the
you
Y.
can rest if you can.
No, she didn't. I thought you meant originally the herb.
No. I like, seriously, like, a cold for me, like, a cold just means I'm gonna be at a lower level of activity, possible energy, digestive powers, all of that kind of stuff for like 4 days. It's like, you can try the other things, you can treat the symptoms basically, but just knowing that, like, if especially, and her other suggestion, if someone's around to baby you a little bit, that's a nice part of being sick, is like making somebody else go like, oh, go buy me some chicken broth.
I hope that is the case for you.
Hopefully.
That was one of those interesting side effects of our COVID quarantine, was the ironic lack of getting sick for years, where people went years of their lives without getting, people often will get at least one, if not multiple, coronaviruses, common colds, which is also a coronavirus. But when we were all quarantined at home, the only real illness one had to worry about was COVID, because we didn't have the mechanisms to spread.
Yeah, if you were staying at home, you weren't there where everything spreads.
And even if you did go into an office or a place, well, they were masking almost certainly. And even furthermore, all of the other measures that were in place, including social distancing, but just the
reducing
lack of number of people that the people that you work with see in their lives, other than the people they work with, also means that you're not going to get the flu or
the multipliers of, like, for each person you're in close contact with, how many people have they been in close contact with? Like,
that was one of those just fascinating. Also, well, as we're all getting back to real life, just consequences that nobody could really foresee was all of the extra deaths from things that people would have built up immunities for, or would have had this
old people dying from the cold or something,
or the traditional flu, or there was RSV, the, like, respiratory illness for children, that devastated a lot of schools, because all these kids were getting this RSV at the same time because they hadn't been together to sort of slowly spread it around.
Kids usually pass this stuff to each other, like, start building up that immunity.
We've talked about firearms and COVID-19 policies, and a little bit about God. What else should we hit?
Let's go back to chat. We've got Miss Candy Cane joined
Who's-
us.
Who says, "What are your views on abortion?" I'm just, you got what I was doing.
He's doing a bit. He thinks he's clever. Taylor Martin.
Unfortunately.
Taylor Martin says, "Wait,
Hey, Taylor Martin, thanks for being here.
dude, I didn't even know you did live videos."
I'm glad you found me. Happy Saturday to you.
How did you find him? That's something that's always. We're so glad you found him.
So I looked into my YouTube analytics, guys, the other day.
Oh yeah,
I promise no more navel gazing, but I'm sorry.
Don't ever promise that. I don't think you can ever promise that.
I'll stop doing that. So I looked at just out of curiosity, my YouTube analytics. And there's some granular, fun stuff in there. Some really fun stuff, especially if you're like me and you like numbers and,
Words and charts and graphs and numbers.
Yeah, give me them bar graphs. Give me them bar charts. Give me them scatter plots. I love them. And one of the analytics you can see is the top search terms that led people to you. Only one of them. Oh, one of them was
the top one was Weeds.
The top one was my name. It's like, cool.
So
hell
somebody,
yeah.
Going in, typing your
Hell yeah.
your YouTube name correctly.
It's spelled with 2 E's and an A, like the whole thing. There was one more in the top 5 that made some sense. Deep Thoughts was
That's totally on brand.
was a term that led people to me.
Did you ever title anything with Deep Thoughts?
There might have been a live where I was like, let's ponder deep thoughts. Let's get high and something like that.
Okay.
Possibly. I can't remember.
It totally works for a category for your videos.
Yeah. The other ones were a little more curious. One was Fortnite solo wins. I think something like that. Like somebody searching some Fortnite.
Maybe they were filtering it to just live now. And you were live and you had the gaming category on.
Maybe. So Fortnite solo wins. And then Crash Team Racing PS1. I don't know. For some reason, if people were searching the 30-year-old Crash game.
Sound off in chat if that's
24.
how you ended up here.
And ended up with us. To the vagaries of the algorithms. Who knows how that term gets you to me, but it happened multiple times. If you're a Crash fan out there, thanks for being here. Naughty Dog, let's get on it. That was Naughty Dog made Crash Team Racing, right? The first one.
He's a big Naughty Dog fan. Of course.
It wouldn't be their only racing game.
Naughty Dog.
Yeah, Naughty Dog also made probably the most pre-Crash Bandicoot, or post-Crash Bandicoot, the most forgotten Naughty Dog game was, they had a Jack racing game. What was it called? Was it Jack X? One's Jack and Daxter, and then just Jack.
Jack X Combat Racing.
Jack X Combat Racing. The Last of Us guys, the guys who made Uncharted, guys who made that, that incredible...
That was their last game before Uncharted.
Yes, it was. It was their last... Yep.
2005 and was Jack X.
I remember playing Uncharted when it came out and thinking, oh my God, this is the moment, where video games have in some ways now eclipsed the storytelling of video games. I mean, the first Uncharted is a better adventure story than...
Eclipse movies?
Eclipse movies. The first Uncharted is a better adventure story with more compelling characters, a more fun romp than the last two Indiana Jones movies.
Well,
And it's only gotten better from there. But I mean, you could tell even with Uncharted at the time. How do we end up here talking about Crash Team Racing? YouTube search terms.
yeah.
Here we go.
It's so quick that it just like veers.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys.
We were talking legal states. KDB said it's now illegal in Pennsylvania for police to use, I think it smells like marijuana in your car when they pull you over as a probable cause. I guess to search it.
Thank you. Shit, what is the governor's name? What is his name? The guy who seems like a pretty decent dude. I can't remember his name.
But he probably did that.
I would think that was probably, one of his policies.
Or maybe they actually have a functional state legislature.
No, they don't.
Oh, they have a totally dysfunctional.
Pennsylvania is like so many of those.
Youngkin, thank you. That one stuff. Is that right? No,
Glenn
that's
Youngkin is
Virginia.
Virginia.
That's Virginia.
Pennsylvania is like so many of those. Is very similar to Ohio, I think. And you'll tell me if I'm totally off. Where it is a much bluer state than the legislator sort of suggests, which is
gone crazy.
Yes, that's. I mean, it's a consequence of our weird urban rural systems, but I think it's very similar to that. That happens often because we give this advantage, sort of electoral advantage to the...
Fetterman's the senator, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But so I can't remember.
He's in D.C.
We don't need to talk politics.
Nobody knows what governor you're thinking of. But anyways,
I don't either.
Taylor noticed my Eve pin. Thank you. Thank you for noticing. You have the same one, and the girlfriend has the Wally one.
That is sweet.
That's so sweet. I used to have a... Do I still have... Maybe we still have. It's probably... If I have it, it's like a dog blanket, so it's really nasty. But I had like a $5 Walmart blanket of Wally. That was a prized possession in college.
There's an 80% chance a Great Dane has shat on it.
We could have just left it at that, dog blanket.
Wally's gonna...
You really had to... He's the cleanup robot.
Yeah, he's just serving his purpose.
He's better at, sweeping things up than... Anyways, let's... No more dog poop. Taylor Martin is going to their local Catalyst tomorrow in Long Beach to pick up the new Plug Play strain Mona Lisa. Please do more Plug Play review videos.
I need to. This is an excuse to do some Plug Play.
And Plug Play was how they found you.
Ah, very cool. Mona Lisa, eh? I didn't know it makes sense that we get around to...
It's a beautiful strain.
Yeah. And, there's just something about it. It just leaves you a little... you just...
Leaves you a little smirk on your face. That's kind of partly on topic because Stay Hazy asked, what are some of your favorite strains? Mine is Death Star OG, Deadhead OG, Sour OG, and Blue Skittles, Blueberry Muffin, God's Gift, and Clementine.
Damn, my man has an excellent list.
Excellence likes runts.
Great for people to take those recommendations. Not to get too much into it, not a super big strain guy because I don't do a lot of flower just traditionally.
Go ahead and admit what you're doing right now, though.
Oh, still the
What is it? You don't have the
cherry
bag.
slushy.
Slushy with a Z.
Slushy with a Z. if like forced to pick some, it would be some of the like more classic indica strains, your like Gorilla Glues, your heavy OG, something like that, something very heavy indica. Although many people are like, well, Gorilla Glue is more of a hybrid, and it's like, well, I always knew it as a indica, but I don't know. Um, I do wonder what becomes of strains. I do, and wonder about the.
Because you don't really, yeah, you don't believe in them.
Yeah, it's not. I believe that people. I will always say and truly believe. Anybody who has a preference for any strain over another, I think that's great. And anybody who feels a particular way doing a particular strain, that's awesome. And I am incredibly jealous. For me, everything's a little bit more flattened. I said I wasn't going to go into this too much, but
That means precisely.
I do wonder if our sort of strain fascination stuff is will eventually succumb to more market pressures, which is prepackaged things, turning things into edibles or carts, usually made from distillate anyways, when it really doesn't matter. And as as it just continues to get more and more commercialized and the operations get bigger and bigger, as it becomes just more of a straight up consumer good, I think there will be a flattening out. Like just you won't see so much because most people don't care too much. Like they just they're gonna smoke whatever somebody gives them, whatever edible is in their pot. Somebody hands them. It's fine. There's always gonna be room for high end stuff.
I think it's gonna. It's gonna go both ways. It's gonna be what you said about like the prepackaged, but then there's gonna be like the other direction where the strain names are just gonna get crazier because like you said, it doesn't really matter, and there's no regulation over it, and then people just like strain names. That's the hypothesis.
As long as the
because we've got Lime Kush in the comments. That one stuff had some Lime Kush, which I wonder if it has like a limey flavor.
Almost certainly.
Names be crazy, like bubblegum yum yum.
Ooh.
That one maybe a joke, but close enough to serious. And Dallas Prince had some root beer float as a good strain. It's like these are all delicious desserts. John Phantom's favorite strain is Laughing Buddha from Barney's in Amsterdam. Landrace Jamaican Thai Sativa mix.
Interesting. I do. Weed does have this advantage of always being this, small, very, in some ways, hyper. Yeah. So it has this whole culture of, people being very experimental, being very proud of their individual things, but market forces are, and this is not an endorsement in any way, shape, or form. I can imagine a world where a lot of this stuff gets crowded out by huge money. Like there's just
as it gets more legal, there's more and more money in it,
and all of the
consolidation is going to happen.
To mid-tier growers get bought out or priced out, and the corporate weed has much more of an incentive just to, like it happened with beer in this country for a long time. Now apparently, there are all these microbrews. I don't drink myself, but if you are, you understand how much there is new beer out there. It exists, but for a long time, it just got sort of totally flattened out in the United States. You had like 2 or 3 different types. Most people didn't even really consider all of the different varieties. It was just like you were a Budweiser guy or a Coors guy, and I can so easily see something like that happening with weed. And of course, there'd be some eventual counterback, and now you can go to a beer aisle and there are so many different fucking labels there. It's like, how does anybody make any money doing this? But
But the secret also is like most of them are owned by the same guys.
yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just like most of your grocery aisle, it's like a shockingly tiny
You're
number
shopping,
of
Kraft and Kellogg and Conagra,
modelos.
Dalis and Conagra Foods and like
Oh, you
that's
forgot
it.
Nestle.
Nestle. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
international, huge. Probably. Exodus asks, what will become of the resin oil vapes once the market shifts more to the market for weed as flower?
What was the question one more time?
I think, what will become of the resin and oil and vapes as the market shifts more for weed as flower?
I think it's
that's my-
if I had to guess, I would say it's going the other way and will be sort of forever, I think at this point. I think these little vape pens are the thing that and the reason things are going to get more flattened out. Everybody sees this is more profitable. I think it is right now. It's so much easier to get a transport across state lines. These are the things you see middle-aged people smoking all the time everywhere.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, unfortunately, like on the side of the road.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Yeah,
too.
that too.
Yeah. But I mean, because they're so easy to dispose of, but it is already so acceptable to do this, and like you see people you would never imagine a decade ago doing weed, puffing a vape pen outside of a restaurant, or walking their dog, and I think if I had to guess, I could be totally wrong. Let's do a quick caveat. We always have to do it. I'm a dumbass. Please, please, please. I am not a smart person. I have the unfortunate consequence of not knowing anything, which makes me more confident about the little bit that I know and sound more confident, but I don't know shit. I'm a dumbass, and I don't tell you that to try to make you like think, oh, he's a good, honest guy. He's just like telling us his flaws. I'm not trying to do that to actually do one of those like ironic building of trust by telling you like, hey, I'm fallible. I'm a genuine idiot. I'm a producer. Please back me up.
Oh yeah, he's an idiot.
Thank you. So
Only the smartest person I know. Also,
let's not go out there and make any puts or calls on weed stocks based on what I'm saying here because I don't know shit. I'm a dumbass. Now, great question. What was I answering? Something about the weed market.
yeah,
Yeah.
and vapes versus flower.
I'm gonna guess this is where more where we're all gonna be doing more vape pens in the future, unless we start finding something bad that we don't yet really know. Popcorn lung notwithstanding.
But that was from vitamin E oil, right?
Yes, acetate. Yeah.
Which
Is no longer in there. Those were always from cheap knockoffs, usually
Maybe
not
even
even manufactured.
imported.
Yes. Great. Oh man, God, you guys have been asking such phenomenal questions today. I so appreciate it. It's so much fun. I love it. I'm sorry about my rants here, but I really appreciate it. You guys have been on point today.
somebody said, oh, that one stuff. I drink Lil King 40 ounces back in the day. Only smoke the marijuanas now, though. That's another part of thing. I mean, we just walking down the street. We were talking about, how much alcohol drinking among everyone, especially among young people, but just among everyone is down. And, I mean, it's down among Americans, but it's down among also everyone globally. I think, I saw the paper on the ground, and the headline was something about, like, the wine oversupply in France.
Yeah, there's a wine glut everywhere. Basically across the board, we've talked about this a little bit. Everybody is drinking less. The younger you are, the less you are drinking, or expected we thought you would have been drinking at this point. Gen Z, not a huge... It's awesome. It's so great.
There's ways to look cool without drinking. You can get your liquid death.
Boy, could you imagine how much more depressed Gen Z would be if they were alcoholics? It is so good. a generation that is understandably quite depressed and anxious. It is a holy shit. We are so lucky that it isn't comorbid with alcoholism, because it would just be a compounding factor. But there seems to be a true textbook case of a substitute effect happening where people, it's not just this, but part of the explanation for the drinking, the less drinking that is happening is weed, is that people are saying, I would prefer just to do weed. I don't need alcohol in my life. Weed provides me, the same, whatever it is they were looking for through alcohol. And in my opinion, certainly biased, that is a unambiguously good outcome. Like
good for everyone, good for the world,
good
for people on roads.
Yes. And we always like thinking about future implications. I think a lot good could come from that as well. A lot of deleterious effects from copious amounts of alcohol, usually bad effects on any children you may have, so many less negative side effects, consequences, knock-on effects from people doing weed. I think it's great, and goes back to our point that it's insanity in this country that there are places where you can still go to prison theoretically for consuming it. It's a weird world we live in, and we have to pretend somehow like it makes some kind of sense when it does not. Yeah. Anyways,
uninspired. Drinking ain't worth the day after. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I ever even actually had a hangover, but I mean,
Taylor Martin, a little snarky. Last thing Gen Z needs to enjoy is alcohol. They already act drunk on a sober basis.
Oh, nice. Poor Gen Z, man.
They're trying to do the goofs for the TikToks, so I guess the if drunkenness gives you a sort of charisma, they've got that already in spades. The boldness, the not caring what anybody thinks. They got that already. They don't need it. They don't need that liquid courage.
I made the conscious decision as a much younger person that I would never reflexively just be antagonistic or dismissive towards younger people than me. I always found that attitude so infuriating as a young person. And even without that, I think Gen Z, I think that they are pretty great people, given a really, really shit hand. And, us millennials were in the with a cultural punching bag for a while, and it wasn't fun. And it sucks to now see Gen Z blamed for every, societal ill. I don't really even believe in the concept of generations necessarily as like a way to associate a cohort of people as if they had some kind of shared identity. Sort of, maybe it's tenuous, but
they certainly have shared experiences. It's just you shouldn't judge any individual of a group based on their group. Just
90s kids, Nickelodeon. Sorry.
I just dropped the link for Vsauce's Juvenoia episode.
Yeah. But like when I was in high school, for example, even, just as a smaller, I remember being like, why would you treat freshmen like the younger kids like shit? Why would you do that to them
the
same
older
way?
Kids?
Yeah. And I remember being like, as a junior and senior, like consciously, and I was an asshole. I was not a good person, but I was trying to be a better person to the younger people than
Like
people,
more like take care of them than
I just never understood that like reflexive, you're younger than me, so I am,
gonna shit on you.
yeah, or, not all that's saying what you were doing, but just as a observation about, every other story you're in the paper is Gen Z is gonna doom us all because they don't.
It's like, remember, yeah. Like, wait, I already lived through, the 15 years of all those articles about millennials.
Yep. Yeah.
Blaming everything on millennials, like.
I mean, I knew it was coming for them, and I just was like, I'm not going to participate.
Get ready, Gen Alpha.
Wasn't going to participate in myself. I don't. I wish nothing, truly nothing for the best for people younger than me. Why wouldn't I? And I also recognize that
it's not their fault they were born 10 years after you.
Is that the problem with them? Those little fucks. They have the audacity to be younger. Youth is wasted on the youth, ain't it? Well, let's do a wrap-up dab. Guys, it has been such an incredible, amazing stream hanging out with you again. I've had so much fun.
Yeah.
You guys have been...
Chat, you guys are awesome.
On your absolute A game today. I really wish we could have been here longer. Immediately.
Well, I think
yes.
We kind of...
Please.
We didn't really say anything definitive. Anyways, Taylor Martin did ask, what are the 420 plans coming up?
Great question.
Good one to revisit. And, and where are you getting your deals?
I will be getting them at Catalyst. We'd mentioned them earlier. I've got one close to me. Catalyst.
I think
there's just...
Taylor Martin said they were going to Catalyst.
Yeah, I remember you said that. As you know, Taylor, their prices are just insane. Like, it's remarkable how good their prices are. I won't posit any more conspiracy theories, but I will throw them the nice bone, in addition to telling people how great their prices are. There's one thing that endears them to me more than any other weed business that I know, and I genuinely believe this. So good on them. So good on Catalyst. Their prices are as advertised. The price you see advertised either online or on the shelf is the cost that it is at the register.
That is what you pay as a customer.
All taxes are included.
Or you pay less because there's some deal going on.
Yeah. I don't need to rant too much more. I hate America's pricing system, and what you see is not what you get in terms of pricing. I find the idea of even sales tax being not calculated into the price you see beguiling. So let's not even talk about dispensaries. I support taxes. I think it's great to...
Like, there should be taxes, but it's just not fair that you walk through the grocery store and the price tag is not the price you pay.
Yes, this is not an anti-tax rant. This is not me saying don't support...
But the companies want to be like, oh, that's not us. That's the government. They like... But they just shouldn't be allowed.
Or the retailer.
Yeah, the retailer. Yeah. Right, the retailer's the one who's going to have to pay the taxes. But
it's just bullshit.
It shouldn't be allowed to price things like that.
And dispensaries are the worst for it because the price that you see advertised and the price that you pay may be 40% difference. It's outrageous. And the crazy thing is it could be somewhere in between that. Because with dispensaries, there's a number of taxes that they can choose which ones that they will list in their price and which ones they won't. So you might only pay 20% more. You might pay 40% more. You just don't know. And Catalyst says, you know what? We'll take the small thing on the chin. We'll take the... And the reason they get away with it is the sticker shock is not great because their prices are so fucking crazy that when you see it advertised with tax, you're like, oh, that's still a pretty good deal. Not realizing it's not even going to be more. But there's some... Doesn't make sense to me, that aspect. But
how can it be so cheap? But
fuck our dumb hidden pricing structure. It's another thing we shouldn't tolerate. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Just dumb. It's just dumb. Let's just do better. Just nobody wants weed time.
We can't. Yeah.
We can tell we've gone.
You can't fix that one, but you can do your final dab.
We can tell we've gone so far down the high train when it becomes not just like lost in a train of thought, but when they become like screeds, it's bad. Final dab. I'm gonna cheat out again.
Losing his voice.
Yeah.
Take a sip. Take a sip.
This is 15th day in a row. That's pretty good.
He's never streamed that much. He didn't used to stream on the weekends.
Yeah. The producer here has
That's
inspired
my
me.
fault.
It's been so great having her here behind the camera.
Co-piloting.
Just makes it so much more fun for me. I know it makes it so much more fun for you guys. It's I love having her here.
We can keep up with chat a little bit better. You guys, there's so much today. I didn't do that well, but
You did good. You did great.
did good enough. You guys are talking to each other, which is so beautiful. So like, you know.
Well, happy Saturday to everyone.
Taylor did ask when will you be live next, which is probably tomorrow.
Probably around the same time tomorrow. No promise on the exact time or
Yeah.
anything. We're gonna hopefully get better.
Yeah.
Just some
a schedule is needed, but
hard at this point. Difficult.
like
We're gonna pretend there's a reason. I'm gonna pretend like
there's
there's
a reason it's hard.
there is. There is. You know, the thing that's prevented us from doing it. It's not just laziness.
Oh,
And
yes.
like,
Visibly crossing his fingers.
I mean, no, it's certainly not just laziness. How could it be? That doesn't sound like me. This sounds nothing like me. All right, last dab. My voice really is going, and of
Wow.
course, you mentioned it, which now is one of those.
Oh,
Oh my god! There
yes, I-
immediately, it's like,
Cracking.
but it's like, come on, I'm doing it. I'm really. It's not really that much worse. Last dab. Let's hope Sasquatch is great. Thank you so much, guys. This really has been a blast
Great.
today. I've had so much fun.
Super great.
Producer, thank you. Thanks for being here, helping
High
out,
fives.
making this so much more fun. Let's get this done.
Is that a marijuana's?
Will you give a cherry on top while I do this? Will you give us a war producer? Maybe you'll be so kind as to. I'm putting her on the spot again. Although at this point,
It's a
yeah,
marijuana's spot.
yeah.
That.
You can do this.
I can do it.
Yeah, you got this.
Okay. Oh, we were talking about live events, seeing like directors or whoever. I think we've talked about it before, but I will give another cherry on top for journalist slash documentarian David Farrier. We got to see him for his new movie. Last year came out was called
Mr. Organ.
Mr. Organ.
Now on Netflix.
It's now on Netflix. So
Perfect.
that's perfect.
Check out Mr. Organ.
If you have Netflix, you can check out Mr. Organ.
What a beautiful cherry on top. Succinct, to the point, and a hell of an experience.
It's definitely one of those. Well, so he's in it, like David Farrier, the journalist himself, super charming New Zealand guy, and he investigates this strange figure in his local community, and it just gets weirder from there.
How about this?
That's the best. It gets weirder from there.
It's a documentary that begins about a parking dispute and ends like you could never believe. And with that, guys,
Mr. Organ, like a
heart
like a heart or a liver.
or
Your skin is
right.
an organ.
skin. For skin, for brains, for all the organs, all the good ones other than the spleen. Fuck the spleen. We don't need it. You're a piece of shit. Get out of there. We'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Thank you so much. It's been so fun. Take care. And let's hope this movie's good. Bye, everybody. Hell yeah. You're going to play us out. I'm going to go.
He's leaving.